As I've observed classrooms across the country, it's really easy to tell who the auditory learners are and perhaps even why they're misunderstood. A lot of times the auditory learner looks like they're lazy, especially in class. It may look like they're daydreaming. And I'm not saying they're not daydreaming, let's be real. Lots of students are daydreaming. But in the cases that I've seen, a lot of times the auditory learner will sit back because they need to be able to hear, they don't need to be able to see, they don't need to picture it in their mind, whatever the material is. They want to sit back, and sometimes they have their eyes closed and they're just listening. And if they have a dominant ear, maybe they'll turn their head slightly so it looks like they're even more so like they're not paying attention, and they're listening to you lecture. And the second that you put them into groups and things, their attitude kind of shifts a little bit, and they're hoping to be the listener, and sometimes they're hoping to be the speaker so they can listen to themselves. But auditory learners are wonderful because they want to recall, and they find it easy to recall the information that you're trying to present. And so if you're an auditory learner, or if you're teaching an auditory learner, it's important to know exactly what you're dealing with. In their heads, they're not going to visualize what you're talking about necessarily. If you are explaining, the river, the Mississippi River, and the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, they may not exactly be thinking about what the river would look like, or what the trees on the banks may look like. Likely, they're just going to be listening to the information and then processing it by repeating it back to themselves, the key words, the key phrases. That will trigger, obviously, emotions within them, and they'll gain something out of the book, but they don't have to be there. A lot of times, they'll prefer to use audiobooks if given the opportunity. And if it was podcast or YouTube video, it'd either be podcast or it'd be a YouTube video, maybe without even watching the video or keeping their eyes closed during the video. So we want to understand auditory learners. We want to know what it means to be a dominant auditory learner and a non-dominant auditory learner, and how they interact with the motivation styles.